All right, hello everyone. This is the first of our three isometric sketches right after the practice problem for your worksheet. For each of these next three, all the way through the A, you're going to use the box method. After that, if you choose to use another method, that is A-okay with me, but either myself or the sub will be grading you according to the box method on these first three. Just like we started with the with the practice problem, I'm going to determine the height, width, and depth of my object. Now, before I get started, I do want to make sure you know that when we're drawing, we want to draw with our paper in landscape. And I'll know it's in landscape because I'm going to be able to read the words down here that says isometric in Elvin. If it is rotated 90 degrees in portrait style, your drawings are going to look a little weird. So make sure you're drawing just like that. All right, so my height is 1, 2, 3 units tall. Now you're going to see on these next three drawings, they did a nice job of putting a grid on here just purely to show you their measurements. You don't necessarily, and I actually don't want you to put the grid on your drawing over here, so we're going to leave that off. The other thing I want to tell you is when I go to draw this, I noticed on the other drawing or the other video that I was watching, it's kind of hard to see the grid. So just kind of trust in where I'm placing my measurements. I'll try to make some dots so you can see where I'm going. But look at your paper as you're drawing this. Okay, let's look at the width. The width is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units wide. I made a little squeezy there. That's all right. And it goes back 1, 2, 3 units in depth. All right. So I have my basics for my box method. Once again, I'm going to use my ruler, my pencil for my construction lines, and my Sharpie marker for my object lines. You guys are all going to be using a pencil for the entire project. So I'm going to go ahead and start my box. I'm going to just start in this upper corner right here, make a dot, and I'm going to start with my height. My height was 3, so I'm going to count down 1, 2, 3 units. Okay, I'm going to make a dot on that third unit, and I'm counting really my triangles. I really see triangles in this paper, so it's easier for me to see those. So if you see triangles, or you might even see a square, whatever you could visually see at this moment is fine. All right, my width is 6, so I'm going to count down and to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'm going to draw my line. Remember, the lines that you're drawing are going to be light, whereas mine are dark right now appearing because I'm using this video. All right, my height is again 3, so I go 1, 2, 3 units up, make my little vertice, my little dot, and then I'm going to go ahead and connect this top one. All right. Now, just like I showed you on the last one, depth is really easy once you have the front view. I'm going to count back on each of these 3 vertices, and not this one because it's underneath, we don't see it. I'm going to count 3 back. So I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, make a dot. 1, 2, 3, make a dot. 1, 2, 3, make a dot. And I'll go ahead and connect these back 3 first. And then I'll connect the front to the back, or the back to the front, however you want to say it. All right, so I have my box, okay? So that is what this object will fit into. The next thing that I do is I really look to see what is touching the top, the front, and the side view. Okay, and so in this case, I'm going to start working on the top. The only part touching the very top surface of my front, or of my top view, is this 3x3 box. So I'm going to count down and to the right, 1, 2, 3, make a dot. And then from up here, 1, 2, 3, make a dot, and then I'm going to go ahead and connect this. Okay, and that is this surface. Let's look at the front view. It looks like a kind of like an L with a wider portion to the L, so kind of a chunkier L, if you will. It starts right at the vertice that I just created, and it goes down 2, to the right 2, and down 1. So I'm going to count 1, 2, make a dot. Then I'm going to count 1, 2 to the down and to the right, and then down 1. I will go ahead and connect those. Just like so. Okay, the next part, so I have that kind of chunkier L as I was talking about earlier. Now I want to look at the side view. The only part touching the outside of the box is this kind of small rectangle, the 2 by 1. So I'm going to count over, I'm going to count down and to the left 1, up 2, and up and to the right 2. And now I can make my small little rectangle. Just like so. So right now I've created the features touching the outside of the box. Now what I'm going to do is going to create the features, the detail features within. So I'm going to start right here, and I'm going to count up and to the right 1, 2. 1, 2, and make a dot. And I'm going to go ahead and close that up. Then I'm going to count, and I can either go this way or up. I'm going to go up. I'm going to finish kind of this shape right here. So if I go up 1, to the right 1, to the right 1, and then back up, I can create that shape. So we'll go ahead and close this all up so you can see what it looks like. So what I just did was create this shape right here. All right, the next shape that I'm going to work on, I'm going to come back to this vertice, and I'm going to just close this little box up and make this surface. So this is 1, 2, down and to the right, 1, 2, down 1, and then I can close that up. 1, 2 lines there, and 1, 2 lines there. Okay, so what I just created was this platform right here. So you can see the platform right here. What I'm missing is this kind of L shape right here, which is connected to this little small rectangle that we drew earlier. What I do notice is this top vertice right here will connect back to here. So I could go ahead and draw that in. Then this corner to here. Okay, and then I'm finally gonna connect this guy right here, and that's gonna make it pop out just like so. Now we're almost finished with this. We need to do 2 things. Add our object lines, which in my case will be the Sharpie, and in your case will be dark and pencil lines. And then the last thing that we're going to add is tonal shading. So on the practice, I showed you one. I'm going to move this out of the way for a second. On the practice, I showed you the first method for doing tonal shading, which is just to purely shade it. That's typically what I tend to do. But there is another method out there, which is using a series of lines. And those lines we call hatch lines. Hatch lines are used within engineering, certainly, and definitely in architecture. So for some of you, you are interested in doing architectural work. You will want to become familiar and comfortable drawing using hatch lines. So if you are somebody, you're sitting there right now thinking, yeah, I'm going to take that architecture class next year, or maybe my junior year or senior year, you're going to want to try working on your hatch lines so that you become comfortable drawing different types of lines. And you can experiment with them. I'm totally cool with you doing your own method as long as there's a medium, dark, and light portion. All right, so I'm going to go switch back to my pencil, and I'm going to show you the hatch method, which is simply, and I'm going to use the same dark as the front, medium is the side, and light is the top. The hatch method simply takes a line and you just draw a series of lines. Now, if we know anything about white space, the less white space we have, the darker the object appears. So you might have done something like this in your art class that you had either in middle school or here at the high school, where you used a series of lines to achieve dark and medium and light tones. And so that's exactly what we're going to do. In order to achieve the dark tone, and I'm almost done with this feature, in order to achieve the dark tone in this case, I'm going to first draw my lines in one direction, get this last one, and then I'm going to draw them in another direction. So I want to see everybody attempt drawing hatch lines for one of their drawings. I don't care which one it is. Could have been the practice one, it could be this one, it could be any of your other ones, but use this method at least once so you know how to do it. Now, the thing I'm going to want you to make sure you're doing is keeping your drawing nice and neat and clean. Okay, I want nice clean lines. I tend to sometimes go out of the line just like I did here, so I'm going to take my pencil, clean that up. Okay, you will be graded on neatness of your drawings. All right, for the medium side, instead of going two directions, in this case, I'm only going to go one. So that will create my medium texture, or my medium shading, if you will. And certainly, last but not least, and I know I didn't tell you to do this on the practice problem, but you're going to want to go back and do that. I want you to sign each and every one of your drawings. So I'm going to just put your initials is purely fine. But that's going to tell me that, yeah, I did this drawing, nobody else did it. Okay? And you will eventually put this in your engineering notebook. All right, so that's problem number 1.